So look, I want to turn now to one of the craziest stories I've seen in some time, and it involves Lev Parnas and some of the other extended ring of what are being referred to by the news as like Trump's and Giuliani's associates, but really like, I feel like we're obligated to call them henchmen now, maybe goons, at the very least thugs, right?
Foot soldiers?
Foot soldiers, I guess. And it's because what they were getting up to with Rudy Giuliani in Ukraine, in particular in relation to US Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch, is like something out of a movie, honestly. Like some sort of Scorsese thing. And so take a look at this. We're gonna give you a little bit of an overview and then dive into some of what has been revealed, because as we get closer to the Senate trial, now Lev Parnas' documents are being revealed. These documents, which include Parnas' handwritten notes, copies of text messages and other correspondence, reveal some new information, including that Giuliani claimed to be acting with President Trump's knowledge and consent in his communications with the Ukrainian government, to the extent that Trump can be said to have knowledge of something. He apparently was working on his behalf. But what was most amazing is a set of documents effectively Parnas received from a person named Robert Hyde, a Republican congressional candidate, which is a great fact, from my home state of Connecticut. Hyde texted Parnas that he had people tracking Marie Yovanovitch's movements closely in Ukraine. He claimed he could tell whether her phone and computer were off, and he wrote, quote, "If you want her out, they need to make contact with security forces." So we're gonna add way more context to that, but in effect, what you need to know is, Donald Trump apparently sent Rudy Giuliani, or at least Rudy Giuliani is claiming that this is what happened, sent him to Ukraine, and he got in touch with people like Lev Parnas and others, who then began spying on a US official and perhaps even threatening to assassinate that US official. That seems crazy. It seems like conspiracy theory stuff, but it's being laid out by the people that Giuliani was working with.
It's, as you said, it's almost hard to believe, except that it's right there in front of us. It's not even like someone typed it up or wrote an email and, oh my God, I can't believe you guys hacked this. It was submitted by Lev Parnas as an attorney, handwritten notes with letterheads at the top, and which, by the way, corroborates many other things that come together. This isn't just a one piece of information. This is a litany of things that came forward today.
So let's jump into some of what was revealed. There's a lot of documents. We obviously can't go through all of them, but here are a few of the standouts. So one was a handwritten note on a Ritz-Carlton napkin, I think, gets Zelensky to announce that the Biden case will be investigated. That's direct. That's just laying it out there. That's obviously the biggest thing that they wanted. And I will reiterate, as I always do, this was not about an investigation of Biden. It was about the announcement of an investigation into Biden. They didn't care or need to care what actually turned up or didn't get turned up. They wanted the media to cover that Biden was being investigated.
Now, as this happens, I want people in general, and if you read it on your own, which you should, go through all the things that we previously knew and how it actually connects. So if you want to say, oh yeah, Lev Parnas decided to say you wanted to go ahead and get Zelensky to announce an investigation into the Bidens, who else has been saying that? Like, you know, where's the connection? You can keep saying, yeah, Lev didn't know Giuliani, or he only kind of knew Giuliani, and Lev had no idea who Donald Trump was at all. Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani were pushing this the entire time, and now the entire Republican Party is pushing this. So the only way this can be separate from them is that Lev Parnas, for some reason, decided to go after Joe Biden and his son in Ukraine based on what
independently?
And for who? What benefit would he have?
I don't know, but we do have more documents, I know that. So let's turn to that. One, we have a message from Zelensky, apparently, or sorry, this is from Ukraine's prosecutor general to Lev Parnas, saying it's just that if you don't make a decision about Madame, you are bringing into question all of my allegations, including about B. So effectively, what that is getting into, when you look at the context of other messages, if they don't take out Marie Yovanovitch, then it calls into question the allegations that will be made against B, who we believe to be Joe Biden, although possibly it's Cardi. I don't know. But so there, you want a quid pro quo. This isn't just, hey, we're sending our thug there to try to get them to do something. It's they know it, and they have something they want, and they're openly negotiating with our henchmen to achieve our goals.
And again, I know we went through hours and hours of testimony and anger and fights and Republicans trying to deflect from it. But when Marie Yovanovitch was testifying and talking about what went down, and other people within the department were saying, oh man, I can't believe this is about to happen to you. This all makes sense. This is not, again, it's not just another aspect that's just getting thrown out there. She was pushed out for no real reason other than that she was getting in the way. And this was openly and explicitly said.
Yeah, and if you are like a caricature of a mob henchmen. What do you do when someone gets in the way? You at the very least make threats against them and possibly carry through on those, and that's where we turn now. This is gonna get progressively darker and darker. So here you have, again, Ukrainian Prosecutor General Lutsenko sending messages to Parnas, then responds. Here's 4 messages. So Lutsenko, my Zlochevsky matter is progressing well. There is testimony about transfers to be, again, either Biden or Cardi. And here you can't even get rid of one female fool. And he puts a little like sad face emoji. That's cute. So then Parnas responds, she's not a simple fool, trust me, but she's not getting away.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, maybe something is lost in translation, like something that shows that they're not talking about killing an ambassador, but that's the way you talk about someone that you're hunting down.
You didn't even get after the female fool. It's too explicit.
Yeah, so then we have Robert Hyde getting involved. So he's perhaps Connecticut's next Republican congressman. So he said similarly about Yovanovitch, wow, can't believe Trump hasn't fired this bee. I'll get right in that. Well, he can't fire her since he has no authority over her. So what does that exactly mean? But anyway, then even darker. So now this gets into the surveillance of Marie Yovanovitch. So we have Robert Hyde saying they're moving her tomorrow. So they're apparently watching her and her security detail, they're moving her. The guys over they asked me what I would like to do and what is in it for them. What is this? This is bad dialogue in a screenplay?
What's in it for them?
I've got guys over there and they wanna know what they should do and what's in it for them. When they move her, when her security has her out in public, what should be done and what's in it for them?
Again, the high level of coordination going along this, again, and hopefully we'll get John Bolton to tell the truth if he ever testifies. He talked about how he didn't want to get involved with this, what do you call it, a drug deal that Rudy Giuliani and them were pulling off because it has characteristics of this type of nefarious activity.
I mean, the comparison to a drug deal was supposed to be like, oh, it's not immediately clear on the surface how this is illegal, so I'm going to pretend that it's this thing which is clearly illegal. A drug deal, that would be quaint in comparison to what this really looks like. Let's move on. Wake up, Yankees, man. I don't know what that means. And the guy who sent that is the American in the conversation. She's talked to 3 people, her phone is off, computer is off. So how does Robert Hyde, by the way, we're not gonna go into it, but you can look at his Instagram account. He's in with a whole bunch of Republican congressmen. Like this is not he's obviously a weirdo, but he's a connected weirdo to all of them. He apparently knows when a US ambassador's phone and computer are off and is watching her and her security detail. So let's jump into more. He goes on, they are willing to help if you would like a price. Guess you can do anything in the Ukraine with money, what I was told. To which Parnas replied, lol, guess you can do anything in the Ukraine with money, lol.
Well, you know, considering again, Trump was-
You can do anything what exactly?
Trump was trying to eliminate corruption in the Ukraine because it's widely known how much corruption is happening. Or it's widely known the level of corruption that happened in Ukraine and he was trying to get in on.
Look, so I didn't read the end of that. I got sidetracked by the fact that they were laughing about assassinating ambassador. Sorry, that's my bad. The next day, Hyde reported back that Yovanovitch would not be moved and that his contacts were asking what is the next step. He added, if you want her out, they need to make contact with security forces. So if you want her out, they need to talk to the security forces. I don't know if they're implying that they have an in with the security forces or they were going to attempt to manipulate the security forces into taking her into public. But apparently she was in a place that his guys over there couldn't reach her and they needed to either have a mole or they needed to get her out so that she could be taken out.
It's outrageous, man. It's you can't make it up. And if you made it up, they would tell you that fake news, you're lying, can't believe you're making up these things that no good patriotic American would ever do.
Yeah, okay. There's more, and I don't care how long it takes. There's more.
It's necessary.
So let's go to this. So this is between Robert Hyde and Parnas. Hey brother, do we stand down or you still need intel, be safe? Do we stand down from what? So you're not James Bond. What op are you on that you have to stand down from? She had visitors, so they're still watching her. It's confirmed we have a person inside. Hey broski, tell me what we are doing. What's the next step? Pick a lane. Are you a mobster or are you a douche frat boy? Honestly, you're mixing it all up.
It's a new
now,
version.
Parnas didn't reply for 2 months, perhaps because some lingering shadow of a shred of his integrity said, "Hey, this could come out someday."
Yeah.
So he didn't respond for a
integrity.
bit.
That was just the self-preservation. Like this is these guys are dumb.
And so look, as all of this came out, Parnas's lawyers have now said, "We completely categorically deny that Lev was involved in any activities with Hyde to surveil the ambassador and try to harm the ambassador. We believe Mr. Hyde's activities to be a reflection of his dubious mental state." I hear ya, there's some dubiousness in there, but the paper trail there is pretty clear. He was, by the way, Parnas was the guy who for 2 months now has been enthusiastic about these things coming out.
Absolutely.
He thought this was gonna vindicate him. And here's the thing too. So look, Lev Parnas and Hyde, that's the second ring out from Trump. The first ring is Rudy Giuliani. He's the guy that apparently brought these people in. Remember, Parnas gave a ton of money to Trump and all that. Yep. And so you could say, well, Trump, he doesn't know anything about that, even though he's met multiple times with Parnas and all of that. But Rudy Giuliani says that he was out there doing all this stuff, gathering this ring of henchmen on the knowledge and consent of the president. You can even see right here, this is one of the documents that was released, was a letter saying with his knowledge and consent. And maybe Rudy Giuliani is lying or exaggerating. But have you heard Trump say that Giuliani is a liar or that he's exaggerating? Right now, Trump has done nothing to distance himself from Giuliani and his pack of apparent wannabe assassins.
I've heard Rudy Giuliani say if he gets thrown under the bus that he's got some information on Trump though.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, maybe it was these documents. He's gonna bring them all down. Now, one good thing from this, and this is where we'll close, is on a day like this, when the news is so obviously beyond the pale, finally, there's something that cuts through the normal partisan split in the media and everything. And look, Fox has been willing to defend Trump, but at a certain point, you have to take this stuff seriously if he is potentially okay with an ambassador being assassinated. And so I want to thank Parker Malloy for letting us know that, of course, Fox and Friends was talking about this in their segment. Griff meets Griff, the bulldog in Iowa. They didn't talk about this. They didn't talk about the president's personal lawyer being affiliated with a wannabe assassin.
Not at all.
They talked about a bulldog. And I get it. I have to stop myself from doing dog stories every day on the show. But there's news we gotta get to, broski. It's the news. What are you gonna do?
There's zero room left to deny that there was a high level of corruption and coordination going on so many different levels. On so many different levels. This is all we've gotten to was just the Yovanovitch part. It was much more.
Yeah, if only there was a long-standing group of Americans who believe that high-profile American politicians have been secretly rubbing out their opponents for literally decades. Oh, you guys like Trump now? You're okay with the whole threats against the ambassador? Okay, I am really interested to see where this goes, okay? And my expectations are low-ski. Thank you for watching this clip from the Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.